Dani was an unstoppable game dev YouTuber with 3.5 million subscribers and videos averaging 10 million views.
Is it just me, or is that bone looking kinda thick?
However, he hasn't uploaded in over 2 years. Sam Hogan, another game dev god, vanished without a trace. Brackeys, known as the world's most famous game dev teacher, will never return. Is it all a coincidence? I think not. Starting off with Dani, many people had high hopes of his return with a plethora of evidence of what he's up to. From Discord messages all the way to hidden messages in his videos, many overanalyzed his every online action and concluded that he would come back at some point. But I think he quit. Dani didn't have a great posting schedule to begin with. Weeks and months usually spanned between, and that was the norm. Inconsistent uploads might seem like a problem, but it's actually not. As a game dev myself, making a game is already hard, and making a spectacular video on top of that is even harder. Nevertheless, Dani isn't your regular game dev YouTuber. He was a phenomenon. Being relatively early to the game dev scene, Dani joined in 2018 with devlogs. Through trial and error, Dani let his personality engulf him to create some of the most engaging, interesting, and fun videos on the internet around game dev. He applied the same principle to his game Carlson, which he worked on and teased will release in 2069.
I'll figure something out, and I'll finish Carlson one day. 2069, probably.
And the viewers kept on returning every single time. So clearly something was working for him, and everything's going quite well. He soon found himself collaborating with YouTube titans like Mr. Beast, and he arguably made one of the best games based on Squid Game, Crab Game. Now here's a secret. Dani was so popular because he bridged the gap between gamers and game devs. He was able to make videos with a low technical aspect that was easy for everyone to understand. Dani was showered with awards and praise until suddenly he just went silent. Dead silent. 2 months passed, there were no new videos, but it's probably normal, right? A year passes? Silent. Still. Okay, maybe he's just working on a super massive game. That's probably why. Now, 2024 has just rolled around, marking the 2nd anniversary of his absence. Clearly, something is wrong. Is Dani still working on a game, Carlson another game, or is he just burnt out? From my conclusion, if Dani's working on a game, it's not likely to be Carlson. A video on his second channel, Dani states that he has received death threats from making the game Carlson, which is clearly not okay. And also he thinks the expectations set by the community is way too high for a solo dev. You might say that Dani should just deal with it and make the game, but in reality the pressure is often hard for game devs to overcome. And burnout is especially hard to recover from. I will know this because I was once a game dev on this channel too. There were many nights where I stayed up until 4 AM trying to edit the perfect video to compensate for my bad game ideas. Unlike other YouTubers, when game developers commit to a game, they can't really change it once they're done. They would either A, abandon the game and waste weeks or months of progress, or they just over-edit their videos to compensate. So making a game is kinda stressful. Similar to my decision of leaving game dev, Dani may have just quit, and his viewers have to move on from that. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks again, MacLeod. Anyways, similar to Dani, our next rising star is called Sam Hogan, or should I say Sam Polygon in 3D. Sam Hogan started off as an unknown solo dev that made mobile games. After a long hiatus, he returned to the platform to make, you guessed it, devlogs, like everybody else today. Through his first 9 devlogs, Sam worked on his storytelling and the ability to make the video interesting. But on his next upload, everything changed. Instead of making a follow-up devlog, Sam decided to make a video about a game jam. Ironically, that game jam was partly hosted by Dani. For those of you who don't know, a game jam is basically where you trap a bunch of developers in a box and tell them to make a game. The time frame is usually within a few hours to a few days, and sometimes if you're lucky, a few weeks. As you can probably see, this process is often sleep depriving and really exhausting. Though for Sam, this was his key to viral success. The creativity and the clickability of this thumbnail brought fresh air into the game dev community, just like what Dani was doing. Following this hit, Sam tried to return to his old devlogs, but the views just weren't the same. Instead, Sam decided to end his series and work on creative ideas instead, and that's where his channel really took off. Within a short time frame, Sam rose in the ranks and began to join the views of Dani. He started reaching 10 million views a video and sometimes even surpassing it. His ideas were so creative and unique that it was just hard to not click. After another viral hit, there was nothing but silence. Sam's audience was left wandering in the dark until on May 2022 an answer was issued regarding his absence. Quote, he said, "You might have noticed that I haven't posted a video in a while, and unfortunately there won't be any new videos in the near future. I mainly just haven't been as interested in making games." Similar to Dani, Sam Hogan has fallen victim to burnout. The last game dev we'll look at is Brackeys. Brackeys has significantly different content from the previous two. He was like your how-to guy. He didn't try to make content that appealed to gamers, instead he mainly focused on game devs. Brackeys was an extremely hardworking person. During his 11 years on YouTube, Brackeys made more than 400 plus videos around game dev. Brackeys started off quite humbly as a one-person team.
Welcome to the first tutorial done by Brackeys.
Through trial and error, Brackeys made better and better tutorials that reached more and more game devs, including those who joined from the Game Dev Gold Rush, which is the event probably started by Dani, where most of his audience wanted to make games but they were gamers or people who didn't know how to make games. I know this because one of those viewers was definitely me. After 11 years, Bracky announced his goodbye with a goodbye video. Anyways, I think Bracky the game dev is just burnt out, and rightfully so. What was so interesting after studying these game devs and their respective stories, I realized it all ended in burnout. Prior to the rebrand, I was a game dev channel too, and I felt like I was throwing videos at a brick wall for 2+ years. Sure, there were some successes here and there, but mostly I felt my work was just worthless. Less and less people were seeing my content for how much time I spent trying to make them. Maybe the idea was bad in the first place, or maybe game dev has become so saturated and stale at this point that creative ideas are hard to find. But burnout from constantly trying to find the best ideas doesn't just belong to game devs, it belongs to the entirety of YouTube. Recently, MatPat, Tom Scott, Seth Everman, and many others have quit. And that's something I'd like to talk about next time. Until then, consider subscribing. Take one of one, that was definitely take one. Okay, that's a wrap.